And welcome back to What If Week. This What If comes us from Joshua Surabia, who asked the question: what if Goku landed within the Greek mythology of, and not just in Greece, but in the whole idea of Greek mythology, the gods, the Titans, Medusa, Pegasus, the Hydra, all of that. What would happen there? It's an interesting idea. The problem, so we have to figure out if we have to interpret this as such. Just two ways. Goku lands in our real world, our real world Earth, where our continents and everything like that are set up the way they are, not the Dragon Ball one. But Greek mythology is real. Or he goes to Earth, where where Greek mythology exists in Dragon Ball. I'm inclined to use the former on that one, because that then adds an entirely different, because that now is another what if of what the Greek pantheon mythology exists within Dragon Ball Z world. So let's go with he lands in our real world, our real Earth, but with Greek mythology being real as well. So he would automatically be his own myth, the monkey boy who fell from the sky, basically. Now, would he still be called Goku? For the sake of this what if, sure. What would his life be like? Would he? The problem is the problem you stem from this what if. There's so many different avenues you can go. Is he adopted by the gods? Where in Greece does he land? Or Greek or Roman myth? Where in those? Where in like that area does he land? Because where he lands could affect what he does with his life. I will say this: Goku, because Goku is of Saiyan heritage, the minute he turns to a great ape, the gods would take notice of this. Now, granted, Greek mythology is no stranger to monsters, and even were people exist in every culture, every lore, including Greek mythology. So the gods would not be like strangers to this, but this is not something they're aware of. They're kind of aware of just about every other monster out there. This is new, a giant ape creature. Um, and then it disappears. And Goku goes about doing his normal life and his routine. And probably does that for a while. Would Goku end up joining the army? Or he wouldn't be a martial artist in the traditional sense, but Saiyans are inherently strong fighters. Would he join Spartan army or Roman armies? What would happen there? And people would note that he has a tail, but Goku doesn't make any real point about that. I think you would see Goku kind of going on like Perseus or Hercules like adventures. Looking for that big challenging, the Minotaurs or Centaurs. I mean, really, what I could see us doing here is basically just taking the Greek myths, the Greek fables, and just throw Goku in there and see how Goku handles those Greek fables. I think that's something we can do. And I mean, in terms of Greek fables, now I don't remember every single one of them. But let's, for example, just use Clash of the Titans, which is its own Greek fable, many Greek fables put into one, where Goku would, in this case, instead of Perseus, Goku would be the one who is sent off to get the head of the Gorgon Medusa to stop the Kraken. The thing is, Goku has access to Ki. Eventually, he might even learn how to fly on his own. And if he had to, he could go up and, turn into the Great Ape if the Kraken were to show up at a full moon. But that's, timing. And Goku doesn't know how to. This Goku most likely would still bump his head given the circumstances. So he wouldn't know how to create an artificial moon unless they found a ship and figured out how to do it from there. So turning into Great Ape would not really be an option. So he and Calibus would be the ones duking it out. Luckily, though, Goku is much stronger than the average person. I'd be going so far as to say, even by a lot of the demigod standards, he is at least, he's not a Hercules. Now, don't get me wrong, he's not a Hercules. Oh, no, he's not. But what was it, Caliban, I believe is his name? Yeah, no, he could probably whoop the, I'm going with the original movie, which I own on DVD, which is the better, I actually like the Sam Worthington one fine, but the original one's better. With Virgin Merida, yeah, that one's better. So he beat him pretty quick, actually. Yeah, I'm sorry, who are you? What are you doing? Wait, you're Caliban, right? Is it, yeah. It's like, and he just, whoopsie, booms it. And just, Goku would also have a sword in it. He'd be willing to use a sword. So he just chink and brings in. He probably finds Pegasus. That'd be his Pegadimbus. And so they would go out and they do their thing. And Goku, I think Goku would get the teaching he needs because people would be there to educate him versus Grandpa Gohan, who kind of didn't. I mean, he gave him basic education and may have done more than that had he not died, but still. I'm trying to remember everything from Clash of the Titans. So was it really just the River Styx and the Gorgon Medusa? Because I think that was it in the original. So they, Ferryman Chiron, they explain Medusa. He uses the shield, but at the same time, he also can just use a ki blast. So he bounces maybe a ki blast off of the shield and just right through Medusa. And Goku just makes sure not to look, and there you go. And this time, however, he just, energy blasts the scorpions instead of, using a sword and just ends Caliban. And then ultimately uses the head of Medusa. Maybe even, but before he can, maybe he has to use some ki blast to attack the Kraken and put the Kraken down. There is also who was the one who ran the maze with the Minotaur? I can't remember that one. I mean, I remember the name. I remember the Minotaur myth. And how he did it. He basically cut his foot and he left foot marks with his blood, so he could find his way home. If I'm not mistaken, he did something where he was leaving footprints. Was that also Perseus? Hold on. Legend of the Minotaur. The Legend of the Minotaur. The Minotaur. Not Mill. Minotaur. Okay. The Legend of the Minotaur. Who was that? Minotaur, Minos, a famous monster created by a monster of Crete. It was the offspring of my father, Snow White Bull, blah, blah, blah. Okay. Who was the one? No. But, who was the one who slayed the Minotaur? Theseus. That was it. It was Theseus who did the Minotaur one. So there's that. You could do the 12 labors of Hercules with Goku as well. Ultimately, it would probably all go. Granted, some of those Hercules 12 labors. What were those again? Because sometimes you can't remember. I like mythology. I love mythology actually, but 12 labors of Hercules. Labors of Hercules. What were those labors? Let's see. What were the 12 labors of Hercules in order? Slaying the Nemenian lion. Okay. That one Goku could probably do it. Granted, he can't use his brute strength, but because he's got ki. And honestly, in a certain scenario, I could see a Super Saiyan Goku emerging in Greek mythology. And that would very much put him well above a lot of other characters at this point. Then there was the Lernian Hydra. Again, Goku, I think, could be smart enough to figure that out and have, the ability at this point probably to fly. The Cernian Hide, I believe he just had to capture the thing. Goku could actually probably do that easy. Armenian Boar could do that without too much problems, I imagine. The Aegean Stables. Oh, yes, the horses, who were actually man-eating horses, if I remember correctly, or man-eating cattle. In order to cleaned in over 30 years with 1,000 hours by rerouting the river. Wash out the filth before starting on the task. The day agreed, but afterwards agreement grounds. Yeah, if I remember correctly, the cattle actually could eat people. I know the birds definitely did. Goku, and again, he labors to defeat the birds. Again, this is all one of those things where the fact he can just do ki blast could just immediately stop these. Cretian Bull, I believe, was to capture the bull. Again, grab, fly, there you go. Mares of Diomedes. He was sent to the king. Oh God, these Greek names. Eurystheus. To steal the mares of Diomedes. The mare's madness was attributed to the unnatural diet, which consists. Oh no, sorry, these were the man-eating ones. Okay, flesh of unsuspecting guests and strangers on an island. For some versions, say the myth, mares also expelled fire in their breath. Again, Goku flying Super Saiyan at this point wouldn't not be that big an issue. Belt of Hippolyta, daughter of Amidit, wanted the belt, queen of the Amazons, a gift of the father to please his daughter. He ordered Hercules to retrieve the belt as his ninth labor. Taking a band of friends, he was set sail, stopped the island of Paros, which inhabited by the son of Minos. The sons killed two of Hercules' companions. In the act which sent him on a rampage, he killed two of the sons of Minos and threatened other inhabitants until he offered 2 men to replace his fallen companions. Agreed, took them anyway. Voyage, defended, blah blah. All had been going well for Hercules, and nothing for Hera. Impressed with Hercules' exploits, Hippolyta agreed and gave him the belt. This is another one where actually Goku's just exploits as a hero at this point would basically be the same. She just gave him the belt. I think actually he would respect the Amazons. Like, hey, you guys seem pretty strong. You want to fight? Like, yeah. Honestly, Goku could theoretically marry an Amazon, and there you go. Cattle of Geron. The 10th labor obtained the cattle of the 3-bodied giant. Okay, again, flight in super speed, make that easy. Golden apples of Hesperius. Completed his turn. They gave him 2 more, claiming that slaying the Hydra did not count because someone helped him. Neither did cleaning the stables because he got paid for the job, and you know, even though it's a dick move, those do actually make sense. The first initial aim was to steal 3 golden apples from the garden of Hesperus, whatever. Hercules first caught the old man in the sea, the shape-shifting god, to learn where the garden was. In some variations, Hercules either at the start or at the end of the task meets Antaeus, who was invincible as long as he touched his mother Gaia, the earth. Hercules killed him by holding him aloft and crushing him in a bear hug. Goku could again easily just go, whoopsie, well, isn't this just grand? Boom! Like, yeah. There you go. He claims that Hercules stopped in Egypt, or someone claims it. He finally made his way to the garden where he encountered Atlas holding up the heavens on his shoulders. Hercules persuaded Atlas to get the 3 golden apples for him by offering him to hold the heavens in place for a while. Atlas could get the apples because in this version he was the father, and otherwise related to the guy who had the apples. When Atlas returned, he decided he did not want to take the heavens back. He instead offered the apples himself, but Hercules tricked him again by agreeing to remain in place. Additionally, he relieved himself of every so he could adjust his cloak. Atlas agreed, but Hercules reneged and walked away like a Chad. So yeah, that one. So Goku could not hold the heavens. That one, no. But yeah, Goku could still probably snatch the apples without too much difficulty, I think. Finally, Cerberus. The final was to capture Cerberus, a 3-headed dragon-tailed dog that was guardian of the gates of the underworld. To prepare for his descent, he went to some. Again, it's just him overpowering a large, powerful beast, and at Super Saiyan, yeah, he would be able to do that. Really, the only issue we see with Goku, honestly, in the mythology stories at all from Greek lore, is when it comes to probably interacting with the gods themselves. Ooh, man, sorry. Is with interacting with the gods themselves, as the gods themselves are a lot more powerful than any of these deities. Although there are definitely deities that are certainly on the level of the gods and the gods fear, even like the Gorgon, Medusa was one of them. But yeah, I think at some point, some of the more jealous gods like Hera or even Zeus could be a jealous god, would come down and confront Goku, and you would get a fight. Now, would Goku be able to handle Zeus? It all depends on your interpretation of the character. There are certain incarnations that Goku, and I'm talking about Goku as just like a Super Saiyan, and probably a low-level Super Saiyan, not even Namek level Super Saiyan. Granted, if we're talking about, like, say, Super Saiyan Blue or, like, Dragon Ball Super Goku, yeah, he could probably handle certain incarnations of Zeus, no doubt about it. Talking about this Goku, it all depends on how strong you think he is by the mythological lore we get in actual mythology, not like God of War or in the Marvel Universe. No. Greek mythology. And because the Mount Olympus does exist on Earth, they're more powerful than us, but by how much is the question. I mean, some of them are powerful enough to hold up the literal heavens themselves, whereas others are just, the gods of certain things, like Dionysus is the god of wine, parties. He's got a couple other ones too, I can't remember. So, I don't know, I think I could see a scenario where Goku ultimately goes into like the Golden Ozaru form, and maybe you end up seeing the birth of Super Saiyan 4 Goku in some capacity, which then directly challenges the gods uh, it's himself. And maybe he could literally start going through the pantheon and dealing with some of the lesser gods, not slaughtering him, just beating him. And then they try to clash. Hercules maybe tries to stop him at some point. They clash. Hercules is stronger, but Goku has pretty much every other advantage, including probably even just being a naturally better fighter. Energy blasting to the face, all that stuff. And then you would deal with maybe the Titans at some point, and Goku would join the gods in combat, maybe getting divine blessing. And while Goku would not be the god of war, Goku could be the god of not the god of combat here, because that'd still be Ares. What could Goku be the god of? Maybe he just ascends to godhood. Goku could be the god of determination or will, like or tenacity. Goku could be something like that, where his never give up attitude could rub up on the gods a little bit. And maybe he bangs Aphrodite or something. I don't know. I'm spitballing here. I still like the idea of him just getting married to an Amazon. But yeah, you could do and this is just the Greek myths that I remember clearly off the top of my head. I could do the Odyssey with Goku too. That's definitely on the table. Or the Iliad. So I remember reading the Odyssey in high school. I'd have to remind myself about it, but I could definitely do it. But yeah, I mean, Goku being sent to Greek myth is any myth really is very unique. But I digress. This is just my interpretation of it. I'm not going to spend here all day going over every single myth possible. That'd have to be like a really thought out video to do, and I just did this as a one shot. So yeah, and that makes it sound like I don't put effort in. No, I put effort in, but in terms of what was actually being asked of the what if, I'm like, I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, I digress. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.